Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to News Dose. And over the last 24 hours, fans have been freaking out about a potential delay for the PlayStation 5 Pro. I mean, up to this point, all expectations was that it'll release sometime in late 2024. But the thing is that the leaker who originally gave us that information in the first place seemingly suggested that may have since changed and that it could release in 2025 instead. Is that actually true, though? And, well, we have since gotten an update, and we're going to talk about that today and what fans should expect going forward. Now, we also got some good news for you Xbox Game Pass subscribers, or mostly. I did say early in the week that it would be fun for you subscribers, and I'd say for the most part, that's held up. So we're going to get into all of that as well. Let's just go and jump right into things, though, starting off with some Xbox news, because they just revealed, I'll say, a very interesting controller. Now, Xbox likes to do these highly custom reward controllers as a way to promote different licenses. We've seen them do that with SpongeBob, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with a scented pizza add-on, and the list just kind of goes on and on. But this controller here has got to be their most cheeky design yet. Yeah, check this out. This is their new Deadpool and Wolverine controller that sports a striking red leather finish and quite the prominent behind. It's definitely unique, I'd say, and has certain assets to it. But hey, if you need an extra grip after a hard-earned victory, this might be the controller that you've been looking for. It's a real head-turner, if anything else, but as always, if you want this thing, you're going to have to be pretty lucky and also 18 years old. Unfortunately, this is not a controller that you can just simply go out and buy. Instead, it is a sweepstake reward. I will leave a link below if you want to read up on its rules, but I have to say, the Xbox team is honestly brilliant when it comes to designing controllers. Easily, I'd say the best in the business, and this is one of their most creative designs yet. It's catching a lot of buzz, which is exactly what these promotions are designed to do in the first place. They're designed to get fans talking, and that's exactly what's happening with this new Deadpool and Wolverine controller. Moving on, though, one thing that really bothers me about modern games is their lengthy development cycle. It takes most AAA studios like 5+ years anymore, if not a lot longer than that. Unless, of course, you're RGG, the studio behind the Yakuza games. I swear, sometimes I think they're a machine. If I had to compare them to anybody, I'd probably compare them to Brandon Sanderson, who just seems to pump out books like it's no issue at all, while other authors within the same genre struggles to put out a single book in a decade. I'm looking at you, Patrick Rothfuss and George R. R. Martin. I digress, though. My point is that RGG has been a well-oiled machine. Seriously, for just this generation alone, they've released Like a Dragon, Judgment Remastered, Lost Judgment, Like a Dragon Ishin, Like a Dragon Gaiden, and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. They've also managed to release a couple Monkey Ball games on top of that, and now apparently it sounds like they have another surprise in store that they'll reveal at TGS this September. This is according to a recent live stream from RGG, so, we'll see what else they have planned seemingly very soon. Now, they did here recently tease that their next Yakuza game will surprise a lot of people, and that does kind of have me wondering what exactly they have planned. Could this be another Judgment game? Could it be another spin-off with its own unique story, or could it be from a completely different genre? Either which way, from the sounds of it, we might not have to wait too long to find out, because TGS 2024 is set for September, and I have to say, TGS already sounds pretty exciting. Now, a part of the reason for that, though, is because PlayStation is also set to be at TGS for the first time since 2019, and because of their rare appearance, there's been a lot of speculation as to exactly why they're suddenly showing up in 2024. Could Sony actually have something big to announce there? And one theory that I've seen a lot is that this will be the place where they finally reveal the PlayStation 5 Pro. That would make some sense, considering the PS5 Pro is believed to release sometime in late 2024. They have to announce it eventually, presumably sometime soon, unless it's not actually set for 2024, as we originally believed. Yeah, that's been the new rumor that exploded online this past 24 hours, that the PS5 Pro might have been delayed to 2025. And this is all because of Tom Henderson, which has been the go-to leaker for PS5 Pro news up to this point. What happened here is that he responded to somebody on Twitter that asked about a potential September announcement, and this is what he said: if it releases this year. If being the key word, that does seemingly imply that he may have heard about some kind of delay to 2025, and since then, multiple outlets and multiple YouTube channels have since reported about this potential delay. So there's a pretty good chance that you've heard about this delay online. Now the thing is, are people overreacting to what he said? And I'd have to say no, just because that does seem to be what he implied. It's really hard to read it any other way. This is the first time that we've seen him suggest that a late 2024 release isn't necessarily set in stone. But the good news here is that he has since given us an update and has kind of calmed the storm a little bit. He posted a big article about this over on Insider Gaming, and you can read what he said here. He said, admittedly, the more recent discussions about the PS5 Pro missing its holiday 2024 release have been fueled by my own tweet. People understandably took a relatively passive comment as if I was implying the Pro would miss its holiday 2024 release or be canceled entirely, but that isn't the case as of the time of this writing. He then explained that some developers have been apprehensive over a 2024 release because Sony's lack of first-party games that will use the Pro's features, but based on what was released by PlayStation earlier this week to developers, he still believes that the PS5 Pro is on track to be released later this year. So the way I kind of take this is that he doesn't seem to be as confident about a 2024 release as he originally was, but based on the information that he's heard, it's more likely to happen in 2024 than not, which is something that I do agree with just based on my own logic. I mean, we know that the PS5 Pro exists. Everything about it, specs and all, has already leaked out, and Sony has even struck down some YouTube content with a copyright strike, which tells us that was a legitimate leak for the PS5 Pro. So when I look at the near future, a late 2024 release, I'd say makes the most sense. Yeah, they don't necessarily have a new big first-party game to sell its hardware. That's probably not ideal for them, but if the PS5 Pro is ready to go, which by all indication it sounds like it very much is, then releasing it during the holiday to give it that boost is their best case scenario. I mean, unless they have a new first-party game prepared for early 2025, I mean, there would be no other reason to delay it, and I doubt they'd be willing to wait until late 2025. I mean, for that matter, there will be tougher competition next year because the Switch successor is inbound. A lot of people are going to be looking at that console, and that could take away some of the shine on the PS5 Pro. So I think with all of that in mind, late 2024 to me makes the most sense. And thanks to Tom Henderson's update, sounds like Sony is still in fact on track for that release. He also speculated that it'll be announced this September at TGS and that it will have a November release date. So if anything, the wait for the PS5 Pro continues on. Okay, now for you Xbox Game Pass subscribers out there, quite a few day one releases launched this week, and we got reviews for all three of those games, so we're going to do a quick roundup here, and I'm happy to say for the most part, it's been a super strong lineup according to critics, and that starts off with Capcom's brand new IP, Kamitsugami Path of the Goddess. Now, we talked about this just a few days back, but in case you missed it, this is a very unique strategy action game that combines a tower defense type of gameplay with hack and slash elements. It sounds a little bit strange, but you can see its review scores here. It has an 84 on the Xbox Series, an 82 on PC, and a 79 on the PlayStation 5. So yes, most critics are very much liking this game, but there's still a little bit more here. If Kamitsugami isn't for you, well then Dungeons of Hinterberg also just released as an Xbox console exclusive, and this is actually one of the most anticipated independent games for 2024. A lot of people have been really attracted to its art style and some of its gameplay ideas, but The thing is that it's not just a looker. Its gameplay has in fact met those lofty expectations. It currently has an 83 overall score on Metacritic, with several reviewers praising its mishmash of gameplay. It's kind of split between being a social sim and then a bit more Zelda-esque with its dungeon designs and puzzles. In fact, I've actually seen it described as a cozy Zelda game, but the important thing here is that both types of gameplay seemingly works very well in tandem. So those are already 2 wins for you Game Pass subscribers out there. But as for the third game, this one has received a little bit more of a lukewarm response. And of course, I'm talking about Flintlock Siege of Dawn. Its reviews are a lot more mixed, with a 71 overall score. Now, from what I've seen, it's not a bad game by any stretch of the means, but from how it's being described, it does have some fun to offer, but it might not necessarily blow you away either. I'd say, if anything, if you like Souls-like games, because that's what this is, maybe give it a try. And for that matter, that's where Game Pass comes in. If you're a subscriber, there's really no risk in trying it out yourself. So there you go, 3 day one games in a 2-day period of time. It looks like, for the most part, they're very good. And like I said before, it really has been a great week for you Xbox Game Pass subscribers. Anyways, though, that's going to be it for this episode. But until next time, peace out.